88.1 XFM Tauranga Hit Music Station. Also, another episode of Mic Time with Marty, home edition. I have an amazing creator here who is a bisexual nightmare, a comedian with 500k on TikTok and close to 10,000 followers on Instagram. Say hello to Lee Brophy.
Brophy, but you're very
Brophy.
yes. Hi, how are you? It's like trophy, but with a B.
Why not? So, whereabouts are you in the world?
So I'm currently in Tottenham in London. It's in just North London.
You sound very Irish.
I am. So I'm originally from Ireland. I'm from the west coast of Ireland, in a small place called Mayo. And well, we're famous for always losing in the football, the Irish football, if you're familiar with it. Your last name is O'Connor, so I presume
it's Welsh.
O'Connor is Welsh.
Yes.
Well, we learn something new every day.
Thanks to my dad.
There you go. Fair enough. And then I used to live in Chicago, and I was there from 2003 until November 2020. I left, and then I came to, I was about to say New York, came to London.
New York, why not?
Why not? Why not? Bigger and smellier.
So what got you into doing comedy?
Oh, straight in with the heavy one. I started doing comedy. I think my very first show was in high school in Chicago, and it was a way for me to hang out with friends and kind of explore our sense of humor and what it meant to be funny in a group. And we thought we were funny, and it was just us kind of really hanging out. And then I feel like I've always wanted the limelight and wanted a spotlight on me because I'm a middle child.
So am I.
Hey, we just never got the love that we deserved. So that's probably has something to do with it as well. And I don't know, I really enjoy making people laugh, and I love taking, even when it's completely inappropriate, funerals, so good for laughter. Just take the tension out of the room, lighten it up a bit. I think it's the best way to be, just laughing and having the crack. Sure, if you don't laugh, you'll cry, and then we're all dead after that anyhow.
Exactly. So I've had my deal of, because I used to do stand-up comedy as well, I've had my deal of when you pull a joke and all you hear is cricket noises. How do you deal with that?
Oh, you just embrace it. I got to become very, very comfortable in the silence, and you learn to play with it. It's there as an extra tool. So when you're up on stage, you really have to use every single moment to your benefit, to your advantage, because those are the breathing moments. You play into them, you allow the audience to react in that time. And as a comedian, you're there calculating continuously, is this the right time for this next joke to come in here? Have they laughed enough? Can I just open my eyes a little bit wider, lean in a little bit further, literally into the silence, and get an extra laugh out of it? Because that's the entire experience. And kind of when you call out the silence, you're kind of giving away one of your jokes. What you should do, or what I found for myself, is best practice is to just work with it. Go into your next joke if you feel like there's not a laugh coming out of that tension. But if you can milk that tension, milk that silence, it's there for you as a tool to use. It's not something to be afraid of at all.
Yeah, because I try and find different ways to make people laugh, whether that's just pulling random jokes out of my house, or like I do magic as well and stuff like that. And
so you literally pull it out of your arse. That's amazing.
Pretty much.
That's great. I love that.
Okay. So who has been an influence for you for your comedy?
There's a heap of people. I have a massive list. my number one inspiration is a woman by the name of Maria Bamford, who is just clinically crazy. She has bipolar 2, and she openly talks about it on stage, and somehow you're able to connect with this person who you would otherwise be afraid to approach on the street, you know. That's not to get like all soft and philosophical, but it's kind of the great thing about comedy is that it brings us all together, and it kind of shows us how we are connected. She's fantastic, and she just, for me specifically, she taps into that storytelling that Irish people have of like, I'm going to put on this very specific voice of this person that I met in town just to tell you the gossip of what it was they said. I find her prime and premium, but there's a whole list. I could go on and on and on.
I love that way that you explained it, prime and premium.
Yes. I instantly forgot I said that, by the way. I have a very, very bad memory. So I'll rewatch this afterwards. And I'm like, God, that was a great podcast.
I think my inspiration has to be Jim Carrey.
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely. He's so physical and so fun, and also batshit crazy. Love him.
Exactly. I interviewed Heather Shaw, who is Jim Carrey's lesbian daughter.
I was about to say, I thought you were going to say, oh yeah, I interviewed Jim Carrey, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. One degree separation, not too bad. But his daughter, how was that?
It's not his actual daughter. She looks, sounds, and acts exactly like Jim Carrey.
Okay, I feel like I've been duped. All right, keep going.
Oh no, don't worry, I have as well. As soon as I saw her on my For You page, I was like, okay, I've got to get her. And I was like, are you really Jim Carrey's daughter? And she's like, no. The disappointment on my face.
Yeah.
But she's still amazing. Heather, if you're watching this, I love you.
There you go, Heather.
So, take me back to your first ever comedy show. How nervous were you?
My first ever. I feel like it was an open mic. Was it an open? Oh, I can go to my first ever open mic, and I'm going to have to try and pull this memory out of somewhere. I'm not sure if I did my first one in Aberdeen, because I used to live in Scotland, or if I did it. I don't think I did it in Chicago. I think, no. Do you know? Okay, so this is going to get confusing, and I apologize for that. So I went from Chicago to Aberdeen in Scotland, and then I moved to Hong Kong in my second year. So my very, very first time performing stand-up at an open mic was in Hong Kong, and I had been writing jokes for the previous year or two, and I just never had the kind of courage to get up to an open mic and do it as an amateur, but what I thought back then was professionally. And it was it's a beautiful space in Hong Kong. It's called Takeout Comedy. They should still be up and running. Jamie Gong, who basically took me in under his wing after that, gave me some stage time because I wanted to just try it out. And I'm fairly sure I bombed. I think everybody bombs on their first one, and that's just your badge of honor. And hopefully you continue bombing after that, and the failures make you better. But it was terrifying, and the light was blinding. And I said, oh God, that light is blinding. And I couldn't see the people. You feel very alone up on stage. And then you kind of have to remember to breathe. I don't think I remember the first jokes I did on stage. They were probably terrible, and I would most certainly regret them if I was to ever find them. But I think I lasted like 3 minutes, which no innuendos there at all.
My first ever show was actually at an opera house.
Oh, no pressure.
No, it was an audition for something in Hastings, which is called the Creative Leaders. And I was trying to think about what the heck I'm going to do. It was my time. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to be myself. And people loved it. So.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Why not? I did it. I did impressions. I did magic. I did some really bad jokes that I still use today. But
yes. Yeah, it's I find that if you believe in whatever it is that you're doing enough, where you're like, this is really funny, and you just commit to it, people will just jump on.
Yeah.
Unless it's like terrible, really, really terrible, and then you're doing like some sort of meta anti-comedy,
Yeah.
people will jump in and come along with you because you believe so strongly in it. But that's cool that you just nailed it your first time. Not jealous of that at all.
So, what made you come onto social media?
Ooh, that's a great question. Okay, I wrote a TV show that I want to get produced, and so I feel like everybody's been on social media for the past 10 12 years as is, and we were all kind of trying to figure it out, and we were all doing statuses that were, you know, lyrics from emo songs back in the day. I'm showing my age, but I wrote this TV show and I wanted it to get immediate feedback on the characters in the TV show and the scenes in the TV show. So I kind of broke it down into little segments, and I broke it down into character studies. I was very, very studious about it. And I just started recording those in short segments so that I could put them on TikTok and get that immediate feedback from an audience that is now consuming mass media, probably for the majority of their daytime. And my goal was to then get that feedback, rewrite the show based on that, and figure out how to make it the most entertaining as possible. And a couple of my characters started to do really well on there. I followed the very simple principle within digital marketing of whatever your 10x content is, whatever gets 10 times the views of your previous thing, you just keep doing that. So my priest character was a hit with people, and I was like, great. I started writing satire for it. I have this now fully fleshed, really developed, like down to minute details, scenes, movements that the priest character does in the TV show now, that is all mined from TikTok. So that's how that was my goal. I wanted to get like maybe 5,000 followers so that I could have some sort of a test audience, and it kind of grew legs from there.
Kind of grew legs, some pretty big legs, because you've got almost 12 million likes.
Yeah, it's interesting. You can get caught up in all of that. I'll be perfectly honest. It's the 500,000 followers doesn't seem real. It just doesn't feel like a real thing. Like I can't imagine that amount of people in a given space. Also, the way that TikTok's algorithm works is you can put something out and only get 5,000 views on it, which for someone with 500,000 followers, I'm like, that feels very low. That's like 1%. Pray to God that I did that math correctly. So in that regard, it's like, do I actually have 500,000 followers if only 1% of them are seeing the content that I'm putting out? Or is my content even that good anymore that only 5,000 people? So you can get kind of in your head about it. But it does look pretty. That's fine. I don't mind that.
So how did you come up with the characters? Because like I try and make characters for like my comedy and stuff for my videos, but how did you come up with the idea for like the priest and all the other characters?
So it's straight out of this TV show. So my background, gosh, my schooling background is in zoology. My post that, I studied at Second City and I did improv and sketch comedy. And so in developing characters, what I use is a combination of the two. So I think of people that are in my life already. So it's based on the village I grew up in, and every single person there is their own character. And then I just use improv and sketch writing to kind of elevate or heighten their voices and their quirky mannerisms and stuff like that. And then I also, for the priest specifically, he became really popular because he was this progressive idea of the church. And that to me has so much satire in it, because he's never degraded anyone. He's never really gone against church doctrine. He's just kind of like a fun priest. He's like a really harmless, dorky priest. And I think that's hilarious, because I've never seen a priest like lip syncing before.
No.
I've never seen, that kind of, they are real people, even though they've, done heinous things around it. But that aside, not that it's my job to clear up anything for the church, I think it is fun to kind of play with that dichotomy and that contrast within what a priest is known for and what the satire there looks like.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Great. I'm glad that came across and wasn't just a ramble.
Interesting. So, are there any characters in development right now?
There are. I have another TV show that I've written that I'm contemplating putting up on my TikTok. I might have to just create a new TikTok to try it out, because what ends up happening is you get very it's just, you get saturated with your content on there. So now everybody expects me to be a priest on my current account, and they're not seeing that. And I've done a brand shift into more bisexual, queer content. And it's the feedback isn't the same anymore. The feedback is like, aren't you that priest person? So doing different characters is difficult on the same channel. But yeah, there's a bunch that I want to try out. I have a couple like, it's blue collar but gay, and what that looks like, just taking these two very different worlds and putting them together. And realizing that they're not really that different. It's just an affectation of the other. There are plenty of gay and lesbian blue collar workers out there, and telling those stories. So that's kind of trying to have a higher purpose here, but also just make people laugh at the same time.
Exactly. So, do you think, like, I know you said that even at funerals, it's good to tell a joke, but do you think that there's a certain time not to try and crack a joke?
A certain time not to crack a joke. Yeah, sure. I mean, there's plenty of, if someone is giving a lecture, you probably shouldn't crack a joke. There's like very, very specific ones, where if it's not your turn to speak, you wouldn't crack a joke. But otherwise, I think humor should be used everywhere. I think we learn better with humor, because when you laugh, it means that you've understood something. So if you can use humor while you're teaching, that's amazing. If you can use humor in a business meeting, that's incredible. To make a client laugh, or to, explain a product to somebody where they're like, oh yeah, I don't know, I get it. That's, you just basically sold a product. And I think everybody has the ability to at least have humor, if not be funny.
Exactly. I actually think everyone can at least pull a joke. It's just certain people that can just do it like that and do it for God knows 3 hours for a show.
Yeah, I think there's definitely, it comes down to like survival. So if you're a child who grew up in sort of a traumatic or a tenuous maybe childhood, where you had to always have a rebuttal for somebody, you had to always be jousting in conversation with parents or with siblings, or to get your whatever it is out there, you being heard, you develop that in the environment. I don't know of any single or like only children that are very funny. right? I feel like
Mm.
this is a theory now that I just came up with on the fly.
Oh.
But are only kids or only children, only kids sounds like a really bad website. Are only children funny? Are they funny? I don't know if they are. I don't. What have they had to do to develop a sense of humor, because they've been given all the attention already?
True. Hmm.
I need to do some research on that, but that's a solid cheers to that for me. Wow.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Cheers.
Mike and I love it.
No, I did a series on my TikTok. I just finished it. So obviously I'm in New Zealand and we
Yeah.
don't have the luxuries of Mike and Ike's Cheetos. I've got nerds and stuff all over there. So I decided to splurge on myself and I made a series about it.
I feel like you need to redefine the word luxury if you're calling Mike and Ike's and Cheetos luxuries. That's I suppose if you don't get them there. I mean, I've been to New Zealand and I'm very jealous of you. I'm very tell Cindy I said hello and I said my love. But yeah, I hey, to each their own. I'm not going to yuck your yum, but New Zealand is beautiful. Sorry, I'm going to just reminisce in the corner over here.
Yeah, some of them were a hit and some of them were a major miss. I had some Mexican candy called Pulparindo, and it was cone chili, and it's supposed to have real fruit in it. No.
It sounds like it didn't.
It's horrible upon horrible.
Hey, that's life.
I would rather go back to eating haggis than eat that.
Not this haggis now. Haggis is lovely. And no, you're fine.
Oh, actually, for people that don't know what haggis is, it's sheep guts with cow intestines.
It's best you don't explain what it is.
Oh, who cares? I just did.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's a cultural delicacy that is best enjoyed with copious amounts of alcohol, just to wash it down, chase
exactly.
it. Mm-hmm.
Or maybe the alcohol before you eat it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good soakage, great soakage.
Okay, so how easy is it for you to come up with jokes? Like if I was to pull out these Mike and Ikes, if you can come up with a joke for this.
Oh, God. I mean, wow, on the spot, Mike and Ike's, and I mean, it matches your hair. That's kind of the only correlation I get. That orangey red one matches. It's not really a joke. I'm just being, I suppose, mean in that situation. Mike and Ike's, it sounds as empty as my head right now. I don't know. I'm just trying to find things that I can maybe relate to. The way that I write jokes is I basically go about my day, things pop into my head, write them down if I'm like, oh, that made me laugh, or like, oh, that's funny, and then realize what was it that was funny about it and figure out what my sense of humor is. And then I also just I have like a full process for when I sit down and I go through like what's a reoccurring memory from my childhood that always pops into my head. Why is that the case? What's funny about it? Can I extrapolate from that why it keeps coming back? Because I've tons of those that keep happening to me, and they're there for a reason. Use them. And then other things like say like making lists of things that I hate, things that I love, things that upset me, that kind of thing, and finding the passion behind something of why it is bothering you or interesting you, and then kind of correlating it to different things, adding metaphors. That's it's a process, and it's can't just pull a Mike and I out of my arsehole like a magic trick. Now I'm going to try to think of Mike and Ike jokes, and I'm not sure that it'll be a success.
For the video, I went like, oh, Mike and Ike, double teaming there, aren't you?
Oh, hey, that's fun. That's yeah. Is that now? Is that the first time that you're seeing Mike and Ike's? That you've like, was this like a mystery box of things, or you specifically ordered it?
So I went to the local store and some generous lady was like, "You should try these," because she recognized me from TikTok, and she said that
Oh, okay.
you need to do this. And I'm like, okay. And so I've literally been surrounded by American, Australian, and Mexican snacks.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure where that sentence was going to end. That's brilliant. That's the way it went. Okay. Someone just handed. Hey, free stuff.
Yeah,
Unless you had to pay for it.
I had to pay for it.
Okay, then.
She literally filled up the basket like the Swedish fish, hot tamales, Cheez-Its, nerds, something called randoms. I had Iron
How jealous
Brew.
of her. Oh, Iron Brew. Yeah. We we just made a video of that. That's I don't know why I said that, but yeah, it's a great hangover cure.
Yes, it is amazing. My dad's like, "There's no taste." I'm like,
Oh, your dad might have COVID.
I'm gonna show him this video.
I mean, just it's a warning sign.
Get tested. Anyway, so how do you deal with criticism? Because like you and me, we are both bisexual. We are both members of the Pride community. So how do you deal with criticism?
So I don't take criticism from anyone that I wouldn't ask advice.
Mm-hmm.
That's my number one thing. I get thousands upon thousands of comments that I do read the comments. I have quite a strong constitution of like, there's a random person on the internet. I don't know them. If they're completely anonymous, where they don't even have a name, and they leave a comment, I just ignore it because I don't. Who are you? Why should I care about what anything you have to say? A lot of them, if it's things about my appearance or how I sound or things that I've done, those types of criticisms, I take those and I cherish them because they are future jokes for me. If somebody's roasting me in the comments, I'm like, oh, thank you. That's a new 5 minutes of material that I didn't have
Content.
to write. Exactly. It's so I try to just. I'm not going to live my life by what a random internet stranger says. Other criticisms of like what I'm doing and my intentions behind what I'm doing, I find as long as my only intention is to make people laugh. And so with that, I feel like I can't really go that far skew on whatever it is I'm putting out there. Specifically when it came to priest content, a lot of people were like, you're making fun of religion. And that I say, one, no. Two, religion hasn't the best record out there. Three, there's this whole thing of like, you need to respect everyone's religion, right? But if you are of one religion, you believe that that's the one true religion. That's how it works. So fundamentally, as somebody of a certain faith, you cannot respect, like when you're defining respect, you cannot respect another religion because that religion, according to your religion, is wrong or it doesn't exist because yours is the one true religion. So that argument kind of nullifies itself. So a lot of the criticisms just kind of go out the window when you look at them, and I just go make more content. If it's a funny comment that I can make content off of, great, brilliant. I mean, the way the algorithm works is as people interact with your content, the further it gets pushed out. So criticize all you like. Hopefully I'm laughing to the bank. That's how I deal with it.
I actually get that a lot because I watched. We're going to be talking about America's Got Talent again. Lady, she went and she was singing her hate comments to her YouTube videos.
Love that.
And she smashed it. So I'm like, I should do that, but I don't get hate comments.
Oh, they'll come, and I don't wish them on you. They're not fun. I get. Here's the thing: I get way more love and I get way more positivity from people, and people saying thank you for being, a bisexual person who is visible to the community and someone who's kind of taking a lot of the heat and showing people that you can be out and it's completely fine and normal, and it's you're kind of like a beacon and you're helping people figure out what it is that they're dealing with. A lot of the people on TikTok are under the age of 25, so they're still trying to figure things out.
Guilty.
Right. And that's completely fine. That's the app. But being there as someone who can kind of help them with that, as someone who's gone through more and can kind of fast track people through, like, don't listen to this, don't listen to that, here, this is helpful, work on you, you've got you're valid, your life is worth living, your depression can be worked on, you're not a waste of space, and you're loved, that type of thing, which I feel like a lot of queer kids don't hear throughout their lives, and it's very important that they hear it. Sorry, they're coming for me. I don't know if you can hear the siren in the background. London, baby. So yes, I find it's important to be that voice, because I do get a lot of homophobic and hate comments as well that are just purely there to stoke hatred, and anyone that takes time out of their day to leave a hateful comment or something that is there to stoke pain or to frighten or intimidate you through comments is sick. There's a kind of a sickness there. It's built out of hatred, out of pain. Every time I see those comments that are like, you should go back in that closet, or blah, 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 all that kind of stuff, it gets much worse than that. But anytime I see that, I try to have empathy for them. I also try to remember that I'm a comedian and I can make fun of that person as well. But I truly want to understand where they're coming from, if I can help them along, to kind of see that queer people aren't degenerates. Queer people do deserve their voices and to be seen and contribute to society. And if it doesn't work, I just block them.
Yeah. Why not?
Your homophobia is not my problem. You can work on that by yourself. I believe in you.
I actually get that a lot, because some of my videos, I don't know if you've heard of Jazz Thornton.
I have not.
Oh, she does a lot of like suicidal talks and stuff like that, and she celebrates when people like hit a milestone, like 5 years of no self-harming, and I've started doing those videos, and now I've had people messaging me saying like, thank you, you've helped me from doing all this stuff, and it's just all the love.
Yeah, it's a very difficult line to thread with self-harm and suicide and depression, anxiety, and I've had very specific instances happen where people have threatened to commit suicide while I've been live. And I go live every single day just because I built a community over on TikTok, and it's kind of fun to just keep up with people, and it allows me to kind of promote shows and do all that kind of stuff, try new characters and whatnot. But I did have an instance where we had to phone the police and try to get someone help, and it was a lot, and it's not something that I'm qualified for, and it becomes this kind of circle, this really unfortunate feedback loop of people who are quite sad and haven't figured out how to deal with that, haven't gone to therapy, maybe don't have the resources to do it, don't know that the resources are out there,
Yes.
and feel like they can lean on creators who are putting themselves out there, who are talking about these, who are maybe making, silly jokes about it because you've gone through it, you've done the work, and you can kind of joke about it now. And they're leaning on them, and you feel this need to reply and to try to help them through it. And it's trauma bonding at the end of the day, and it's not super healthy. It takes a lot out of you as an individual, as a creator, especially when you end up just getting thousands of messages of people, or even tens, even hundreds, because now that person is taking it all off of their own shoulders, sharing half of it with you, and now you have to deal with somebody else's trauma when you've already kind of figured out your own. So it's a tricky thing to deal with, and anybody who is dealing with that, my suggestion would be to seek out professional help. Don't be ashamed of it, and you're not alone.
We are all humans at the end of the day.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully.
I mean, we're 70% water, so anything goes at this stage.
I think mine's 70% Sprite, so.
Well, I mean, is that an American Sprite?
I think so.
Okay.
I didn't buy
you
this.
Just said...
There was a big box of them in my freezer, so I decided to grab one.
I love when that things magically appear in a freezer.
Exactly. Like,
yeah,
who doesn't love it? So, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Still in London, for sure. I love it here. I feel like I've only started to dabble. Things only opened up here in April, and then I really didn't start going outside until June because I had to travel and quarantine and travel and quarantine. But 5 years, I definitely want to be headlining here in London, touring around the UK. I want to have probably my fourth or fifth would that be? I guess it'd be my fourth Edinburgh show under my belt. Would like to have a TV show commissioned. I would probably have like a podcast as well. I have a lot of different things, a couple of online businesses as well. There's plenty of stuff in the pipeline. I'm never not working. Lots and lots of stuff always in the works, but definitely physically still in London because I feel very at home here, and I feel like I'm actually connecting with people, and my sense of humor is appreciated, if not successful, dare I say.
So your podcast that might be coming out, is it going to be kind of like this one?
I have like 3 different podcast ideas. I'm more of a, where do I get the time? If I could multiply myself into like 6 different bodies, I'd be absolutely killing it, but I feel like some of them would just be too lazy. But I definitely want I was dealing a lot with like religious trauma, having been a priest, and just hearing people's thoughts on that. And I thought, that would be quite an interesting thing to do a podcast on. So that would be probably my initial podcast that I would do. So interview style, and then discussing what all of that looks like for different types of religions.
My team is basically me and one other guy.
And, brilliant.
And we've just it's mainly been me. He's mainly been focusing on all the admin, all the business stuff, because I hate numbers.
They're not my friend.
No, they are my mortal enemy.
You are bisexual. We don't do math.
No, we do not do math. We do theatre and singing karaoke.
We do. Yes, we do.
And yeah, it's basically just been doing interviews, and then I do my TikTok. So yeah, hopefully I never thought I would be at this place. Like I never thought I would be at this stage of my life, graduating from radio school, 4,000, oh, soon to be 4,000 followers on TikTok, interviewing amazing people like yourself, and it's
Oh,
crazy.
hey, you're just scratching the tip of the iceberg of what you're capable of. It's keep barreling through. You're definitely going to hit like obstacles and things, the inner saboteur who's like, you can't do that, or I don't want to do that, or that's not what we're meant to do. Just keep going through it. Right now, I feel like in your stage of life, you're okay to say yes to more things
Mhm.
as you grow, as your, I suppose, following grows and all that kind of stuff. It then becomes more important what you say no to.
Mhm.
Keep that in mind, that you don't have to do all of the things. Oh, what's that? Me not taking my own advice. But yeah, more power to you. Hey, you're the head of the game. Head of the game, so yeah. I wish I had the confidence that you have right now at your age to do what you're doing. So
It takes
hindsight.
practice.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Okay, Lee, would you mind if we film a TikTok together?
I would. Sure. What would you like?
Okay, so have you seen any of my videos?
I regret to inform you that I haven't.
I am forever hurt. No,
I mean, send them to me. At me.
why not? So I have a little intro, and so I'm going to do my intro, and I want to see your
Okay.
reaction. I've got my phone
Oh,
here.
is this a blind react? Do I have to record myself or?
I don't know. I can film one, then you can film one.
No, I whatever it is that you do for these, I want to do it
Okay,
right. So
so
you just let me know what I need to do.
okay, so you just sit there and look amazing.
All right, pressure's on. Hang on, let's fix the
All right.
curl.
So I'll say my intro, and then I'll flip the camera, and you can say whatever you want within reason.
Oh, within the community guidelines, I'm sure.
Yes, I can't be blocked again.
Okay, here we
All
go.
right, ready?
Sure.
All right. Hello, TikTok. It's your boy or man child. Anyway, so I'm currently on an interview with the Bisexual Nightmare, who's got 5,000 followers on TikTok. Guess who it is? Flip camera in 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Oh, hi. Hi. Hi, it's
Hi.
me, a bisexual nightmare. I love you.
Yes, I'm currently on an interview with Lee Brophy. I got it right this time.
You did.
Yes. So, Lee, if you have anything to say to your amazing followers, or even my followers, that might be your followers, or vice versa, what would you say?
Life is too short, and a candle loses nothing from lighting another candle.
Am I talking to a ladder?
Just here to blow your mind. That's it. That's all I'm good for.
Okay. That's pretty good. Okay. Now, a little bit more interesting. Are you ready to play a game?
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't realize there was going to be games. I should have warmed up.
Oh yes. That's how we do it here. Okay. So I'm gonna give you 3 topics, and you just gotta tell me which
Okay.
one. Music, acting, or impressions?
Acting.
Acting? Okay, cool. So this game is called Expressions. So let me just put on my headphones because I think my mother is watching The Expendables once again.
I fully thought that you ignored the fact I said acting and you did impressions, but you said expressions. Anyway.
Never. Okay.
Never.
Well, it's kind of the same, but yeah. So I'm gonna give you an expression and a scenario, and you have to act it out using that expression.
Brilliant.
All
Let's
right.
go.
So do you want to chop and change, or do you just want to be you?
What do you mean by chop and change?
So I pick you one, you pick me one.
Oh, sure, that sounds fun. Let's do that.
Okay, cool. So your first one. You're at a coffee shop and the barista gets your coffee wrong. In the expression of, let's go, guilty.
Oh, sorry, I can't drink this. I'm actually lactose intolerant. I don't mind paying for another one, but like, if you wouldn't, I can't. I wish I. No, it is my fault. I should have said it louder that I want a coconut milk. But wait, is this just an expression, or am I supposed to talk?
It doesn't matter. You just got to
okay,
act
brilliant.
it out.
Brilliant. How long of this? Oh, I did it. Okay, great. Panicked. Why panic?
All right.
Pardon my chair. It was made out of a granny.
Oh,
it's very squeaky. It's just creaky.
All right, what you want from me?
You are in the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles. You're getting your license, picture taken, and they, I suppose you're feeling ecstatic, but they need you to have a calm face for your picture.
Oh, okay.
And I guess there's like a dialogue where they're saying things like, do you know what? There's a dog running around and you just can't keep it together.
Okay. So this has actually happened to me before, and as
I knew it.
As you probably well know, us bisexual people, we have days when we are straight or just full on gay, and that day was full on gay. So here we go.
Okay, excellent.
Okay. Oh my god, I can't wait to get my photo taken. There is a 12. I'm walking around and I'm so excited. Oh, keep it down. Okay, I'll try. I'll try. I can't do it. That dog's just so cute.
I mean, and the Oscar goes to at least an Emmy. At least an Emmy.
Okay, let's go. You're at a movie theater and you are watching Titanic, but it's Titanic 2 and you weren't expecting it. The emotion is happy.
Oh Jesus! I never knew they made a second. And now is this a bigger boat altogether? Is there more people on it in this one? Is the iceberg bigger? How do more people die? Do they have more life boats? Are we talking like 6 couples sad in the water and they're all? Is there an orgy? Is that what's different in this one? God, this is great. Okay.
Is there an orgy?
It's just how do you elevate the Titanic but with an orgy? You know?
Why not? All right. Go ahead, hit me.
Yes, you are at a funeral.
Oh
no. And it's someone that you went to school with. And they actually took you had like a really nice pen, like a pen that you were gifted for, say, communion, or like, did you have a communion?
No.
Okay. Your graduation.
Okay.
Graduation. Yep. It was like a nice, one of those nice like pens that you twist. That's like metallic, right? And you really like that pen, but you lent it to that person, and they never gave it back, and now they're dead. That's the only thing you could think about. And you're frustrated.
I'm frustrated. I have to stand up for this.
Oh, full production.
Full
production.
production. Do you know how?
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Oh, hopefully that. Right. Here we can stand and look at Will Ferrell.
Not a bad option.
Okay. Okay. I'm really upset that Mike is dead, but he stole my pen. It was my favorite pen. It smelled like roses. It was so silky and smooth, and he just decided to take off with it. And now he's dead. What do you think I'm going to do? Do you want me to jump in there and actually dig it out? I don't even know if it's with him. Mood.
I'm out of awards to give. Do we give like a Tony?
A Tony.
I feel like that. What awards do they have in New Zealand?
I don't know.
None. No
Uh,
awards. New Zealand doesn't believe in new arts, and like you're just like, no, that's how you're supposed to do your job. You just do your job. No awards.
Exactly.
We don't believe in it. I love that.
Okay. Plot twist. Dun dun dun. So, one of my little, I would say, I forgot what the word is. Little gifts. There we go.
Oh.
Is I do impressions.
Ooh, okay.
So, I'm going to do an impression. You have to tell me who it is,
Yes.
and then you have to try and copy it the best you can.
Oh, okay. You said this was a gift, and we need to go over what the definition of a gift is. But please go ahead and put me through this torture. I would love to see if I can complement your impression with my own. So thank you for this gift.
You got this. I believe in you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The first one, I'll make it a bit easy. Okay. Hey, Brian, do you want some Cool Whip?
That was Stewie Griffin and that man. Hello, Brian. Oh yeah. She watched Family Guy. Mummy. Lois.
Yes, how are you?
Cool.
Hey.
Yeah. The Family Guy.
Yes.
Okay, that was fun. Next one.
Next one. Okay. Well, I want to see if you can do this impression because
Is
I
that
think
Obama?
yes, it is.
Oh my God. That I've never tried an Obama voice before. Well, I was think about it, and no, that's atrocious. That's embarrassing. I can't believe that's now in a record somewhere. I can get his cadence. He's got such a beautiful baritone, and I wouldn't want to do him bad. I miss Obama. Come back.
Well, you're probably not going to like this next one. We're going to be wild. It's going to be amazing. Milani's looking forward to it.
God. It's like Kim Kardashian.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can do Kim.
Yeah.
Okay. And Chloe, I just I don't appreciate the way that you're talking to me. Okay. Donald Trump is honestly, I'm so happy he's gone. I don't want to give him any airtime.
Exactly.
I just think he's this like stain on the earth. People can do better Trumps than me. No, we're not. I refuse. Successful refusal.
Okay,
that
then.
was an option.
Okay. Last one. Hopefully this one's going to be easier. So we can see if you can do this one.
Okay.
Fingers crossed. Okay. Hi, sisters, and welcome back to my YouTube channel.
Is that James Charles?
Yes.
Or okay. Okay, I don't watch enough of James Charles, and I believe James Charles is problematic these days. No,
Yes.
not that I suppose Trump wasn't. I honestly haven't watched enough of James Charles to get the voice right, but is it like just like a typical like nasally
Yeah.
gay kid and just says hi sisters? Is that
Yeah.
that's all James
It's
Charles
done.
says. Wait, what was the apology video? What was the apology video?
He was accused of sending inappropriate pictures to.
Right. But I'm like the actual verbiage of the apology video of like, I'm desperate, wasn't it? Wasn't it something? I'm just desperate.
I need clout.
Hey, do you know what? I was about to say we've all been there, but we've not all been there. I see. I tried to find the benefit of the doubt for people, which is probably my biggest flaw. Is that I'm like, well, everybody thinks that they're their own superhero. Nobody ever considers themselves the villain in a situation. Everybody thinks that they're doing the right thing. But yeah, I mean, best practices kind of go out the window when your head is in the clouds, I guess. That's why you need a team of people. I need a wrangler. That's what I need.
Yeah, I suppose certain people have lost their touch.
Not great wording on your part there, but yeah, it's important to. I look when it comes to internet celebrity, and I feel like there are far more people now jumping on that train or bandwagon. When it comes to that sort of celebrity, it's I think important to recognize that the people that you are providing content to that are online don't necessarily deserve, even though they follow you, don't deserve your attention 24/7. And you don't have to give people your attention 24/7. It's very important to have time for yourself. So if anybody out there is a creator and you're struggling with all of these people want me to make these types of videos or they want me to do these types of things, you can and are allowed to live your own life as well.
Okay.
I feel like it just people get lost in the weeds sometimes, and it's okay to take like a step back and realize who you are, that you are a real person.
Okay, Lee, I'm going to give
Yes.
you the floor. Promote yourself.
Oh, me? Talk about myself? You're too kind. I basically what? I live in London, so if anybody lives in London or in the UK, you can find me doing shows. I'm still working on booking gigs and making my name here. So I do have a show coming up on the 5th, which is in Islington, and the 11th of August. Both of the shows are in August. One is in the Glory in London. All of my dates will be found on my social media handles. So you can either find me at Lee Brophy, like at Lee Brophy, my full name, but you just chop off the Y. I'm everywhere. I literally, or you can find me leebrophy.com. You'll find all of my socials there as well. Very efficient. She has a website. But yes, I've got plenty of stuff in the pipeline. So I also have audiobooks. If you search my name on Audible, you can find my audiobooks. If you're just interested in hearing this voice more, some of them are a little bit sultry, some of them not so much. And yeah, I'm very vocal on social media. So if you do want to just have a chat, come hang out. I go on TikTok live every single day, and I'm over on Instagram. I'll be doing lives over there soon as well. So I would love to be your friend.
Okay, Lee, can you finish this amazing interview off by my amazing due to myself? Kidding. With giving us a joke or something that you do at stand up or doing your comedy.
So a joke. I won't do a stand-up because I feel like stand-up doesn't really translate over these types of interviews. But a joke I wrote that I'm very, very proud of is what happens to Italians when they die?
Pasta la vista.
They passed away. You were very, very close.
Huh.
Yes.
Do you ever want to try
That's
another one?
Oh, wow. Oh, you're like, that was shite. That was
No,
utter.
it was good. I
Would
just
you,
wasn't expecting it myself to be that close.
Hey, you're good at puns. That's there you go. Let's see. Cool. Okay, I have this one where my name is or like coming out for me was very easy because my full name is Lee Gerard Brophy, which makes my initials LGB. And then all I had to do was cross my T's and dot my I's and follow up with a Q&A. That's for my lovely queers out there. So,
Yes.
Yes. Cool. All right. Fully exposed.
All right. Well, Lee. First of all, what time is it for you?
It is 10 o'clock in the morning. Up before my breakfast.
It is 9 o'clock at night.
I know, isn't the world weird? It's as if we're on this massive sphere that's also flat.
Exactly. I'm in the future.
You are in the future. How is it, by the way?
It was dim to begin with.
Oh, okay. Nothing to look forward to, so.
All right. Well, Lee, thank you so much for taking your time. Have an awesome breakfast. Have an awesome day. And
Thank you for having me.
yeah, hopefully when you become big, rich, and famous, come to New Zealand and do a show.
It's in my 5-year plan.
Well, now
Brilliant. And I definitely want to get a picture with us. Super.
Awesome. So yeah, if you come to New Zealand, message me and I will be there.
Brilliant. Looking forward to it. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem. Have an awesome day.
You too. Cheers.
See you.
All right.